like the BlackStone River and the eagles have been making a comeback. Ospreys and eagles, once suffered due to insecticide poisoning, and they have since been making a comeback, coming off an endangered species list. So it's kind of so I've actually been lucky once to have an osprey dive and catch a fish from them. They've been very quiet this year. Usually they're laughing and flying from tree to tree. Hopefully we'll see one of you will be passing is that large textile mill that I mentioned. As we get a little bit closer, I'll talk a little bit about the history of the Ann and Hope. And a little bit about how the river got named. How do you think that BlackStone got named BlackStone?
That's the governor of BlackStone?
William Blackstone, okay, you know this. Rhode Island, is this the BlackStone Valley Paddle Club? Oh! Hey, great! Have fun! This is the BlackStone Valley Outfitter Group. They lead, Don, who's the head there, he leads groups up to the marsh area. It's a nice trip if you want to get a little bit more intimate with them and get a little bit closer to see some of the things that are living in the marsh area. That was one of my out there kayaking who took our school group out on the river earlier this year. So now, BlackStone River, somebody did mention, is named for William Blackstone, and this is a good place to tell the story about before Roger Williams founded, which I guess is no longer going to be called the Providence, Rhode Island Plantation. But a year before Roger Williams, William Blackstone actually settled on the banks of this river, which at the time had several different names depending on the Native Americans. He had the Nipmuc tribes down along. So here you have the Narragansett and the Wampanoag. William Blackstone is actually after the Church of England, and actually was involved in there in 1821, a year after the and shortly thereafter, about 10 years after that, the Puritans. Well, if you know anything about the history of the Puritans, and William Blackstone had a large tract of land known as the Boston Commons, and there's actually a statue somewhere in Boston to his name that's named for William Blackstone and Blackstone Street. Well, the Puritans actually bagged on his white bull. That was his mode of transportation, and he headed south. And he settled right in this area. The area was known as Study Hill. Whereabouts right now you see sections of. And he used the river was much narrower back then. He would be able to come across on his white bull and tend an applewood apple. He also had quite a green thumb for roses as well. And he did actually get along with the Native Americans, although his house here was later burnt down during the King Philip War after he had had his stick. They did get to meet William Blackstone, and they all practically, Roger Williams found it here. They still here there was an old oak tree which they still he planted up across from the old. Anyway, William Blackstone considered the first settler, but it was Roger Williams. He said, "Oh, that river, that's Blackstone's river." Since we knew William Blackstone spent a lot of time on the river, and the names east side, those are all named because of William Blackstone's legacy here in the BlackStone Valley. Or Johnny Appleseed, because of his stature, he's become quite the legendary figure. But he wasn't always the easiest person to get along with, I'm told. Later during the King Philip Soyed, and in 1886, there was also named for a couple of people, ladies. They were named for the wives of the owners of Brown Jr. and his partner, I can never remember his first name, Mr. Ives. At Brown Family Brown University, you know that they have been delving a little bit into the slave trade. And as a matter of fact, Moses Brown, who was John Brown Jr.'s uncle, but anyway, there was the Brown family, and then it was later taken over by the Chase family. There is future hope for the mill, which is now still a little bit of a department store. They still have a garden outlet, and we have an 18-inch draft on the river. It gets a little bit too shallow as we get closer to this next bridge, and Lonsdale Avenue going back in towards Lincoln, and Pawtucket, Mendon Road going up towards Socket. If anybody is interested in going on a guided kayak trip, they're right over across the bridge there. The bike path crosses over, and you're the stop for Shop Plaza Coffee. Still waiting for them to put in a drive-through for the boat. Haven't done that yet. I don't know if it would be a good thing. I don't know how many times I have little auto body shops up here. And when you start thinking of looking at watersheds, it's probably like an appropriate grandfather in. And a lot of resolutions that go around to big businesses and how they do that and take care of their property. It is the hope to have the river cleaning up to fish and swim in. Like part of that plan too is also getting some of the fish back in the river that the alewives, the salmon that used to come out of river projects in place to put fish ladders. And one of the sections would be at the Valley Falls Dam, which is called Left Prop. The dams where the water temperature tends to be a little bit cooler, and I am told that the trucks can catch and eat here and catch and release. I think that's the most solid thing.